Everybody's been saying, we're the mainstream Republicans. We're the leaders. Well, last night, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, Joe Ricketts, the NRA, they all said no, I'm sorry, I'll say it, to crazy. The NRA came in and they supported Bradley Byrne, probably a guy that's not going to be as conservative on every single vote as his opponent would be on guns, won't be as outspoken. But the NRA made a tactical decision. The chamber did the same, and Joe Ricketts, God bless him, I'm going to actually root for the Cubs next year. Joe Ricketts.
We need it, Joe.
Yeah, Joe Ricketts got involved. This sends a message.
Absolutely. It was a bad night for the Tea Party.
This sends a message to certain House members.
Right.
Watch your step.
Right. And in fact, in Alabama, the Tea Party candidate was saying, if you want Ted Cruz in Washington, elect me. If you want John Boehner, elect Bradley Byrne. Well, this is good news for John Boehner.
But can I put a little bit of a different look on this? There's only so much money to go around in a 2014 congressional election cycle. You've got two races here in the country. You've got a special election in Alabama. That's a very different environment for Joe Ricketts to play in. Let's not I don't think we should overstep that, because next year,
let me challenge you here.
You've got a whole different dynamic, and the Tea Party are not going to go quietly into that good night.
No,
certainly not on the money front.
I don't want them to.
Right.
I want that. I want the activists. I want people that are excited, that are going to go out. These are the very people that knock on doors, that make the phone calls. But there's no doubt about it. David Axelrod, Ken Cuccinelli lost last night in large part because business interests just said no. They didn't give him the money he needed. Bradley Byrne won last night because business interests stepped in. The Koch brothers, they've got a lot of money. There are other people, other Republicans that have got a whole lot of money. And, you know, about halfway through the government shutdown, the whole business community just said enough.
Yeah, finally. I mean, the fact is that the business community had made a Faustian bargain with the Tea Party in 2010 and 2011 and 2012, and now I think it all came home to roost in the shutdown and the flirtation with default, and they realized this is serious business and we need serious people, and that was reflected in where they put their money in these races. Let me just touch the third rail of Obamacare for a second in this election in Virginia, because that can be overinterpreted.
Stay away from it if I were you.
Well, you know, I go where the brave dare not tread, you know. But but I mean, look at the numbers. As I said, all throughout, when I talked to the McAuliffe people, they said this is a 2 to 4 point race. All in the last few weeks, 2 to 4 point race. They put 100% of their money, Cuccinelli, and he was finally even in the last week on Obamacare. Everybody was talking about Obamacare, and the race finished at 3%. I'm not saying it was a positive for McAuliffe, but what I am saying is, you asked me about lessons for 2014. If Republicans think they can just get on this Obamacare kick and win in 2014 on that, I think they're mistaken. If you look at the polling, even throughout all this Obamacare debacle, their numbers have not moved. They have not gained. So I think it is too facile to say we're just going to talk about Obamacare and win this election. They got deeper problems than that.
Well, they talk about